The Dallas Cowboys didn't just finish their draft, they may have just started their most dangerous phase. While everyone was celebrating picks, Dallas quietly loaded up on overlooked talent, names nobody's talking about yet. And if history repeats, one of them could change everything this season. But one of these signings is already surrounded by serious controversy. The Dallas Cowboys didn't just wrap up their draft, they quietly stepped into the most unpredictable part of roster building. While fans focus on first-round stars, Dallas has built a reputation on something far less visible, finding value where nobody else is looking. And this year, they've loaded up on a group of undrafted players that, on the surface, don't look flashy, but that's exactly what makes this dangerous. Names like Dominique Richardson, Jordan Hudson, and Camden Brown won't dominate headlines. They're not elite testers, they're not viral prospects, but they bring production, size, and just enough upside to force real competition. And in Dallas, that's all it takes. Because this isn't about instant stardom, it's about surviving camp, winning reps, and slowly climbing into relevance. The wide receiver room alone is setting up for a quiet battle that most people won't see coming. Depth spots are open, roles aren't locked, and history says at least one of these safe signings could stick longer than expected. But just when this class starts to feel predictable, one player completely changes the tone of everything. Because the next name isn't safe at all, and that's where things get complicated. The Dallas Cowboys may have just pulled off something nobody saw coming, because hidden inside this undrafted class is a player who, talent-wise, had no business being overlooked. On film, he looks like a future mismatch nightmare: size, speed, explosiveness, the kind of weapon teams spend early picks chasing. And yet, when the draft came and went, his name was never called. That's what makes this so intriguing, because players like this don't just fall for no reason. Around the league, scouts knew exactly what he could do on the field. The flashes are undeniable: big plays, physical dominance, moments that make you stop and rewind. For a team like Dallas, always searching for upside, this is the kind of gamble that can completely reshape a position group overnight. And if it works, the Cowboys didn't just sign another undrafted player. They may have stolen one of the biggest talents in the entire class without spending a single pick. But in the NFL, talent alone doesn't tell the full story. Because what scared teams away might be even bigger than what shows up on tape. What should have been a breakout story quickly turned into something teams couldn't ignore. The Dallas Cowboys knew exactly what they were signing, but so did every other team that passed on him, because this wasn't about talent anymore, it was about trust. Reports suggest concerns around maturity and consistency started following him across multiple programs. At different stops, there were whispers about missed practices, tension inside the locker room, and questions about accountability. Nothing ever fully confirmed publicly, but enough noise to make front offices hesitate. And in the NFL, hesitation is everything. There was even a suspension labeled as disciplinary, which only added more uncertainty. And while some fans believe the situation was overblown, others point to a pattern that's hard to ignore. When the same concerns show up in different places, teams start connecting dots, fair or not. Still, Dallas took the chance. Maybe they see something others didn't. Maybe they believe their locker room can handle it, or maybe they're betting that raw talent outweighs past concerns. Because if they're right, this could be a steal. But if they're wrong, this situation could unravel faster than anyone expects. The Dallas Cowboys have quietly built one of the most underrated formulas in the league, and it shows up every single year in the same place: undrafted tight ends. While other teams chase big names and early picks, Dallas keeps finding value where nobody else is seriously looking, and somehow it keeps working. This isn't random luck, it's a pattern. Players like Peyton Hendershot and others came in with little attention, no hype, and minimal expectations, yet found roles in this system. And now, with DJ Rodgers entering the picture, it feels like Dallas is running the same play again. He's not flashy, he's not a headline grabber, but he brings blocking ability, special teams value, and just enough receiving upside to fit exactly what this team looks for. That's the key: fit over fame. Dallas doesn't need superstars at every spot. They need players who can execute, adapt, and survive the grind of an NFL season. And in this system, that's often enough to earn real snaps. So while most people overlook this move, the Cowboys might be quietly setting up their next contributor. But not every position follows this same success story, and that's where things get risky. The Dallas Cowboys might be confident in their system, but when it comes to the offensive line, history isn't nearly as forgiving, because this is where undrafted gambles usually fall apart. Take Jazz Pete, massive frame, rare size, the kind that instantly stands out. But once you look closer, the concerns show up fast. Struggles in pass protection, high pressure rates allowed, inconsistent technique. The physical tools are there, the reliability is, and at this level, that's a dangerous combination. Then there's Sidney Fugger, even bigger, even heavier, built like an interior lineman but still adjusting after playing tackle. Position uncertainty alone makes his path complicated. Add in average testing and questions about mobility, and suddenly this becomes more projection than production. That's the reality here. Offensive line success as an undrafted player is extremely rare. It's not about flashes. It's about consistency, discipline, and surviving elite pass rushers every snap. And that's a massive leap from college to the NFL. Dallas isn't just adding depth here, they're experimenting. And if these experiments fail, the pressure won't stay on the bench. It could reach the starters faster than expected. The Dallas Cowboys may have just found the most intriguing wildcard in this entire class, and almost nobody is talking about him. Kelvin Gilliam Jr. doesn't jump off the stat sheet, but his athletic profile tells a completely different story. At nearly 300 pounds, he moves like someone much smaller. His testing numbers were elite across the board: speed, explosiveness, agility, all ranking near the top for his position. In fact, some of his metrics mirror the kind of athletes who become impact defensive linemen at the next level. On paper, this is exactly the type of physical upside teams dream about. But here's the catch: it hasn't translated yet. The production doesn't match the tools. Limited sacks, modest disruption, flashes instead of consistency. And that's the question every team had to answer: are you betting on what he is now or what he could become? Dallas clearly chose the second option. Because in a defensive line room that's been completely reshaped, opportunity is wide open. No long-term guarantees, no locked depth chart, just competition. And sometimes that's all a player like this needs. Because if those traits finally click, this unknown name won't stay unknown for long. The Dallas Cowboys may have saved their most important move for last, and almost nobody noticed. Langston Patterson isn't a headline name, but his opportunity is very real. As the only linebacker added, he walks into a thinner room with fewer guarantees than expected. He's a solid run defender, productive, and exactly the type who can quietly climb the depth chart during camp. And with roster spots still open, nothing is locked in. This isn't about hype, it's about timing. Because in this battle, one unexpected rise could change the entire roster.